Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Do any of you want a really fast friend, or do you want to get a friend really fast? Take your pick. Fellow Toastmasters, I introduce you to the retired racing Greyhound. What we want to go over today, what I want to introduce to you, and there are many things we can talk about, or I can present to you regarding racing Greyhounds, or Greyhounds in general. But I want to focus on three things: characteristics, behaviors, and some necessary equipment. I did bring demonstration work, so clearly we're going to have a very good time today.
Volunteer.
Yes, anyone who wants to volunteer for the collar and leash thing, go right ahead. I won't comment or I won't judge, trust me. But we first want to talk about, as I said, the characteristics of the Greyhound. Yikes. The first thing I want to tell you about the Greyhound is it's one of the world's oldest breeds. They have been seen in ancient Egyptian artifacts. So they are very old. What's also important about the Greyhound is that their physical characteristics has changed very little throughout the millennia. The long nose, the very deep chest, obviously really long legs, small waist, and the ears. Particular thing about Greyhounds is if you look at the ears and they're folded, or they're called rows. That's a very important thing to remember about the Greyhound. And the long whippy tail. Remember, the Greyhound is a member of the Sighthound group, for lack of a better term. Sighthounds mean just exactly what that says. They use their eyes. Not that they don't have a good nose, because they can smell an open can of chicken or dog food a block away, and they can get to it really fast. But they primarily use their eyes. An important thing about their eyes, they have over a 250-degree vision. Most of their prey has 200 and 300 degrees. The prey, rabbits, can see it quite a ways. These are the one dog that has that type of vision. And they're the fastest canine breed at 45 miles an hour. Granted, my dogs ain't going to reach that speed to save their soul. These are the Greyhounds, the guys that do this literally do it for a living. They can run at that. The other thing about Sighthounds and Greyhounds in general is that they have a double suspension stride. Rarely will you see this unless it's in pictures or on a track, because the owners won't let their dogs do that anymore. But that's the way they run. Double suspension stride means all four paws are off the ground twice. So they are literally in flight.
Wow.
And there are slow motion camera pictures that show you how their feet do touch the ground. But this breed, Sighthounds in general, will have this double suspension stride. And they will reach maximum speed probably within 20 yards, but they can be really fast in about 3 strides. So you give them 3 full strides and you will not catch them if they're off a leash. Okay, I wanted to talk about some behaviors. Now, people want to know about this high-strung Greyhound dog. And I'm here to tell you that they are a 45-mile-an-hour couch potato. They have no desire to do anything but sleep, eat, do their business, and run a little bit, okay? The reason I wanted to bring this up about behaviors is the huge misconception that these dogs are high-strung. They are not, okay? They're very good around people, but they're shy in new situations. Everybody's like that. You and I are like that, believe it or not. And every dog is a little shy in a new situation. The other is that they're very friendly with other dogs. The reason they do this is that they've been around dogs all their life. They are with their mother approximately 8 weeks, which is weaning period. They are then with their entire litter taken to the track kennel. And they stay with their in the track kennel with their litter mates for another 3 or 4 months at least during their training. So they're very used to being around other dogs. A little quirky item that my friends have told me is that the Greyhound is the one dog and one breed that can recognize itself. Because they spend their whole life around it. I mean, why wouldn't you? Behaviors, more behaviors is that they are regal. And this is the dog that I had, my wife and I had. I think that's the most muscle-bound animal you'll ever see next to a horse or a racing horse. And this is another one that we've had. The pictures are from, I'll get to the pictures, but I just wanted to let you know this one is an extremely attractive dog, or was. They are regal. Dignified? Don't think for a minute that these dogs are dignified. They don't care. Most dogs don't care what they do, but anyway, this is another Greyhound that I had, and this is what they call the full roach position. If you see a Greyhound doing this, obviously it's not dignified. They are the happiest dog in the whole wide world. This is just a picture of one of my other dogs that, just goofy. She's just was nuts. The other behavior is that they are born to run. That's their whole job. Run fast and catch whatever they're after. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some equipment that you need to have. One is a training crate. Now, there are a lot of people who don't think a crate is an appropriate tool, but I tell you what, these dogs have spent their life in a crate. If they're not out training and turned out to do their business and being handled, they're in a crate because they're in a kennel with a whole bunch of other dogs, so they want to be taken care of. You need a 4 to 6 foot leash, and please get a solid one. If you get a retractable one, I can guarantee you the first time that dog sees a squirrel, that retractable leash will be broken and you will be doing land surfing behind the dog because they're that fast and that powerful. In fact, small dogs have been known to break a retractable leash, so please stay away from them. The ID collar, everybody has one, but these are a special collar for Greyhounds is a martingale collar. It slips. The reason is the dog's head is so narrow that they can back out of a regular collar just like that. In fact, I've seen them back out of these. So it's really important. And you cannot strangle the dog because it can only go so much. So that's important to have. The other is a cage muzzle. Obviously, these guys are wearing one. But I wanted you to know that these are very important pieces of equipment. They keep the dogs safe from themselves and from each other. And their disposition changes as soon as you put one of these on. They're not nearly as aggressive or excitable because they know things are quieting down. Some of the references. I got information out of this book. And for me, Greyhounds for Dummies. Obviously, this is where I'm going to go. Also, some websites that I went to is Greyhound Friends for Life. I am a member. I work with this organization, and we adopt dogs from there. And also personal and web searches. Thank you.